Hey guys, just want to make a short video on assigning homework and setting up your classes and assigning assessments on big ideas. So a couple things. This is a real quick shortcut that you guys probably already know, but I just put bookmarks on my Zoom links. That way I always have it. I also have our daily schedule here. One thing is, I'm not going to, we're not necessarily going to stick exactly to the minute with this. The big thing is just make sure that the students have breaks at these times. And so you have basically like three chunks of time that you can work with in terms of some lessons are going to take longer, so you'll need more live instruction. Sometimes you'll have a little bit more work time. Sometimes assessments will take longer. So you have some flexibility with how the live instruction slash student work time is going to work with you. It's just that you're always available during this entire time. Okay. The other thing is I like to link this or bookmark this link. It just helps. So I'm going to be realigning this pacing guide. As you can see, I had started to align the pacing guide. This was back in April when I agreed to teach DPIE and lead the geometry team. My original idea was that just to align everything with Big Ideas website. And this will actually have the effect of minimizing the work that the teachers actually have to do in terms of grading assessments. Just it minimizes issues with like downloading all these worksheets and things like that. As you can see, we are very worksheet heavy at Dublin High. A lot of this is kind of aligned more specifically to Dublin High's pacing guide. And so you can see in semester two, it's very, very much, a lot of worksheets. So I wanted to get away from that for the sake of digital learning for a couple of reasons. One is to make it easier for the teachers, but also because I don't want to just be throwing all these Dublin High worksheets out there, some of which I created or helped create, and now they're just available to anyone as kids save them and download them and that kind of thing. So I wanted to stick more to the publisher's website since that's not going to hurt anything at Dublin High. So you can see I started to do that, but then I stopped because my Big Ideas website was not working. I did not have access to the assignments tab, and it just was not working. So it is working now today for the first time. So this is how you do it. So to log on to Big Ideas, you're just going to go to bigideasmath.com/BIM/login. Okay. And mine just auto saves or auto defaults to that. This will take you to the teachers for WUSD, the teacher's website login. Okay. And so you'll have a login. If you don't have a login yet, it's going to be your WUSD.org, and you'll probably have to use like an access code that you'll have to get from Lenny, or we'll have to figure out how to set you up. But hopefully you have this from last year, or if you're in the district already at Fallon or Wells, hopefully you have this already. Okay, so go ahead and log in. And then there's these three tabs are the big things, the big divider. So resources is where you're going to use the teacher resources for teaching. So here is the textbook. Here's the student edition of the textbook. Here's the teaching edition of the textbook. There's all these other really cool things, which I haven't used most of these, but I have used many of them. The ones that I use the most are, I never use the teaching edition. I use the student edition and the dynamic classroom. These are two tools that I use all the time. The dynamic classroom, there's two versions of it. There's the new and the original. It doesn't matter which one you use, but that allows you to, it has like the videos are pretty pointless. I would not use the videos at all. But there's some nice animated examples. So like you can click and it gives you like part of the solution and then the next part of the solution if it's multiple parts, right? And so it has nice explanations. So there's some nice examples that I use for teaching. But the part that I want to talk about today is in our classroom. So I set up a classroom that I call DPIE 2021, and that's something that you'll have to set up through class management. And what you'll do is just go to class, you'll go to your name, then go to class management, then you'll click on add a class. Okay, I'm not going to add another class because I've already added a class. My class, I call it DPIE 2021. I did this back in like April. You can see April 20th was when I set it up. Okay, and grade, I just put grade 9. There's a start and an end date to the class. It tells you, which book are you going to use. It has a default list. It's Algebra 1, Algebra 2, or Geometry. Teacher, and then here is how you invite your students. You give them this access code, and then they have to join it from their Dublin Unified account. Okay, and then your roster here will populate. Obviously, I didn't have any students back in April, so I literally created a new Google account, a dummy account with a fake Google, well, not fake, but yeah, pseudonym in Google. Created a username, and so now this is a Big Ideas dummy account. Okay, and so you have to have a student in there before you can start creating assignments. So this will help us on day 2, especially for teachers that don't have rosters. This will help us on day 2 or day 3 or whenever all your kids get in. I would take classroom time and say, hey, listen, type this access code into Big Ideas right now and join the class, and then watch your class roster populate. Okay. But when you have students in there, you can actually go ahead and go to assignments. Okay. And then you can click on create a new assignment. Yours will be empty, and then click on create a new assignment. Okay. And then go to the pacing guide, and L1 is this formative assessment, which FYI, I'm changing that up. That's right now, it takes us to the formative assessment we used last year, but we don't have edit rights to this, and we don't have, obviously, rights to view the results. So I'm going to change that up tonight. So you'll have something there. But L2 is lesson 1.1, L3 is 1.2, L4 is 1.3. Okay, and so these are the 3 sections we're covering tomorrow. And then here is our quiz, which also no longer exists. Okay, but that's okay, because all of these 3 lessons are here. Now, obviously, it's probably too late to do this for tomorrow, but let me just show you how to do this for the future. For tomorrow, you can have students just do their work on paper, then take pictures of it or PDFs of it, then submit it to you and grade for completion. We'll give 2 points per assignment, and it's graded on completion basis, not on accuracy. Okay. But here is how you go ahead and assign these things digitally. So again, I want to create an assignment. So from my class, okay, I'm just going to go back. I'm going to view my class. I'm going to go to assignments. Okay, I'm going to create an assignment. And then I'm going to go to 1.3 because I actually already created assignments for 1.1 and 1.2. So go to 1.3 and click on assign. A little bit of a lag there. Click on assign. Okay, so click on add an assignment, choose the set of problems. So you can choose all the problems, the odds, the evens, the basic, which is for lower level classes, average, or advanced. Technically, this is advanced geometry, so I'm going to go ahead and click on advanced. Okay. Now, teachers, you have a little bit of flexibility. I don't want you to change the assignments completely, but you have some flexibility. You can deselect some of these problems, or just go with what Big Ideas recommends, what the publishers recommend for advanced. Okay. Again, you have some flexibility with that, but in general, I'd like to start off very rigorous, especially for these first couple of weeks. And then we can always make things a little bit easier. We can always ease off on the homework load a little bit later on. Okay, but let's start off and just hold a very high rigorous standard. Okay, so with this need help live tutor and calculator thing, I'm just going to click on calculator. I'm going to click off of need help. I researched this, and I think what it is it shows them videos and stuff like that, and we're not going to do that. Okay, that's more for basic level classes. Okay, release for review is on submission, and that means once they submit it, they will get they'll get the results immediately. Okay, we want them to get instant feedback because that's the purpose of homework, is for them to get feedback and figure out, well, where are they going wrong, right? Calculator, you can search if you want to use Desmos. So this is just a basic, I think it's a 4-function or it's a scientific calculator. But if you want just a 4-function or a graphing calculator or something like that, you can choose that. Right now, I just have Desmos disabled. I don't think they need it for section 1.3. Okay. So then I choose students, and I'm just going to collect. You can select specific students. I only have one student right now called test student. So I'm just going to click on all students. Choose the start date. I'm just going to leave it open for right now, but you can obviously change the start date. Okay. Choose the due date. So this is due. So this is obviously tomorrow's homework. So it's due on Thursday at 8:30. So we're going to make homework due at the beginning of class. Okay. Late homework is a 0. There is no late homework allowed. Okay. Name this version. This is going to be L section 3. So it's L4. Okay. L4. Write a message. This is totally optional. You don't have to do this. Then this is if you want to, if you have several sections. We each only have one section, so I don't need to add classes. So I'm going to add to queue, and then I click down here on assign, and then I confirm that yes, I want to assign it. And now it shows up on my assignments. Okay, so there's L2, there's L3, there's L4. Can I change the order? I'm not sure exactly how to change the order. You can do descending and ascending order. But that's not exactly in order, but that is how you create assignments. The quiz that we have tomorrow, the culminating quiz, which is on sections 1.1 to 1.3, we can also assign that right here. Okay, so create an assignment. That is this quiz right here. So I'm going to assign it, add the assignment. Choose a set of problems, same or random. I think same means same as the textbook. So this quiz is the exact same quiz, and this is what I believe to be true. My wife, who's a math teacher, who uses Big Ideas all the time for Algebra 1, but she has a more recent version of Big Ideas. She told me that this is going to be the exact same quiz that appears in the textbook. Okay, the exact same quiz in the textbook, because these quizzes are all in the textbook. Okay, so if I go to Student Edition and I just open that up, let's browse by chapter. What did I do there? Let's log in. Oh, I know what I did. So if I go to chapter 1 and then go to Student Edition and open it up, okay, so here's just a PDF. And also Marine showed me that he doesn't just use the student edition, he uses the dynamic student ebook, because you can do things like type notes on there, create annotations, do all sorts of things like that. So if you're not using a DocCam, if you're teaching on your screen and writing on your screen, I think this is probably the better book to use while you're teaching. But this is just literally just a book which you can size. You can zoom in and that kind of thing, and you can just switch to page like 25 or whatever. I don't know what page it is. Pretty close. Here's your textbook quiz right here, 1.1 to 1.3. It's these exact problems, same numbers, same everything, but these solutions are not in the back of the book. So they can't just search up the answers in the back of the book. Okay. But then when you go to random, I believe it randomizes the order of those problems. Okay. So I'm going to go next. I'm going to choose all students. Next. Start date is, so this is where you can change. So this is going to be tomorrow at, I don't know, let's say 12:30 p.m. Okay, and then the due date is tomorrow at 1 o'clock p.m. Name this version quiz 1.1 to 1.3. And I think I called that L5 on the pacing guide. Add to queue and assign. And there it is. So that's what we're going to be doing. I'm going to change this pacing guide to align exactly with Big Ideas. So we're pretty good. I just have to change these couple assignments, these 7, 8, and 9. And then I'm going to change, I'm going to have this align a lot more closely with this Big Ideas website. Okay. Now, if you're not going to use the Big Ideas website, you can still just assign the problems and then have them send PDFs to you in Google Classroom or in Canvas, and you can grade for completion. Okay. The quizzes that you'll assign are going to be different than these quizzes, though. Okay, and I will provide you with those quizzes. Those will also be publisher quizzes. Those will not be Dublin High School teacher-created quizzes. Okay. And the other thing that I'm going to do is, even though I'm assigning these things on Big Ideas, so this is where they'll, Big Ideas is a tool that they can use to get instant feedback on, hey, did they get it right? Did they get it wrong? They have unlimited attempts to check their answers. But they still have to submit their work to me. So their work is going to be in Canvas. So I'm going to create a piggyback assignment in Canvas that goes along with this daily homework. Okay, so like here's their piggyback assignment. It's L1 through L5. Here's all the assignments again. And then I'm going to make them submit a PDF. Okay, file upload PDF only. I'm only accepting PDFs. I'm going to make them download Adobe Scan, which is free. And this is where I'll check all their work. Okay. Yeah, so that's it. Hope you enjoyed the video, and let me know if you have any questions. Thanks, guys.